Hello my lovely gamers, my name is Jonal and today we're taking a look at how to beat Doomfist. The Doomfist is taking competitive to a certain extent with a swiping uppercut, and it's very dangerous because a lot of people think that he's very unfair to play against. So today we're gonna talk about how to deal with a Doomfist that is absolutely wrecking you guys, what heroes are the best. Now I made a how to counter video, how countering actually work in Overwatch, where I talk a little bit more about how it works against the entire team comp and not just individual heroes, so I recommend you guys checking that video out. Link to it is down in the description. Now we're gonna take a little bit look at both DPSs, some tanks and some support players, so let's just jump right into it. Now when it comes to the DPS genre, there is a lot of people that is really good in them, and the best counter, personally at least, that I found, both when I scrim and both what I've seen competitive, and especially also when I play Doomfist in scrims, is McCree. McCree absolutely BS, first of all because he's range DPS, and of course Doomfist is very good at close combat, and McCree can just keep his distance. However, if Doomfist somehow managed to close the gap and break, through your lines and get close to McCree still has flashbang, and because of the high amount of burst damage, it's very easy to drop a Doomfist very rapidly. The only problem is, of course, that high noon is a little bit very predictable to how to hit, but besides that, it's very easy for McCree to just dominate a Doomfist. So if you're good aim, if you're good McCree and you understand, keeping your distance and just poking him low, if he gets close, flashbang, and he is an easy kill for you. Then it comes, well, the second best counter, at least personally, I feel, that's Tracer. And the reason that Tracer is so good is that she can just dash around. It's very hard to hit Tracer with Doomfist, and therefore, because of also her high DPS output, even though if she's hit, she's kinda dead. But that goes for most DPS heroes, because as long as she does a wall bang with a fully charged fist, she's dead anyway, and most DPSs are dead. But her high mobility makes it very hard for her to hit, at least if she can see the Doomfist or can hear the Doomfist. And on top of that, her high burst damage makes it so that it's very easy to drop, especially since his hitbox is very large. So it's very easy to land good mags into him consistently and quite easy. Therefore, I really recommend also Tracer as one very strong counter to Doomfist. Then there is of course Soldier 76, working very similar as McCree, keeping a distance and taking some high ground positioning and poking him low. He doesn't have the amount of burst damage that the McCree has. He has his Helix Rocket, which can work to a certain extent, but it's not exactly the same, and the problem comes when Doomfist starts to get close to the 76. That's when problems start arising from, which McCree normally deals with a flashbang and Trace deals with moving away. But Soldier can kind of get stuck there, and it can be a problem. So even though he's a good counter, he's more of a counter that you need to a certain extent to be allowed to keep a distance to the Doomfist, at least in the beginning of your engagement, to be super effective against him. Then we have my personal favorite hero, and that's of course Ginji Shimada. I made a video about how to counter Doomfist with Genji, and essentially it works on very similar stuff as Tracer. You just move around him. You just make sure that you can keep your distance, you're moving around, you're not engaging, you're not being predictable, you're saving that swift strike so you can dash away if that's needed. And in general, just jumping around, poking him low and keeping a distance where he is very ineffective and you are very effective is the easiest way to deal with Doomfist, as the same with Tracer. Then we go over to support, and you can argue that, oh, Ana can sleep dart him and stuff like that. But in general, the support that actually works best against Doomfist when we talk about actually eliminating him is of course Zenyatta. Now the reason Zenyatta is because it's very easy for him to predict where Doomfist comes. Doomfist's movement is very linear. It's very easy to see what he's planning to do, and marking him with Discord Orb makes it easy. So okay, I can also now spot him through walls, charge a good right click and land a good right click onto this Doomfist, wiping him very easily. Also of course Zenyatta's in general left click, and it's general that he can keep some distance from Doomfist where he is very comfortable, and just like poke him low, kill him very easily. And this could of course also help your team killing him faster, but also in general you can spot his movement very easily and get a good right click off of him. The problem is of course with Zenyatta that if Doomfist gets close, you are kinda fucked. The only thing that those moments can save you is a very good right click, or as a quick succession of left click, when in general you're very easily killed as well. So it's a kinda meh pick, but in general, if you're supporting, you're like, okay, this is Doomfist, he's fucking me up all the time, Zenyatta might help you out. Now then it comes to honorable mentions, and in general, that's where we'll put a tank, and that's where we'll put Zarya. And the reason I'm putting Zarya is because, first of all, she can protect herself and the team with her bubbles. giving very, very easily, since he's so predictable what he's going to do, it's very easy to get high charge as Zarya if they have a Doomfist. And if you're high charge as Zarya, and especially if you have your own bubble, your personal shield to yourself, it's very easy to actually deal with a Doomfist. Your DPS output is very high, very easy to fucking over with just keeping constant tracking damage, constant pressure damage onto the Doomfist, and the self bubble will save you from a good easy right click. Then I will do 2 more honorable mentions. I will talk about Panzer and Widowmaker. Of those 2 personally, of course I'm also a big better Hanzo than I am Widowmaker, but I personally like Hanzo better because of his scatter arrow, his vision arrows compared to Widowmaker. But the reason they are honorable mention and not instantly high counters is because by playing these heroes, you end up with the trouble that, okay, I'm keeping the guy at this and I'm keeping Doomfist at this and all the time, it's very, very, very easy. But as soon as you get actually close, you're kind of fucked. Of course, Hanzo, he can wall climb up somewhere and Widowmaker can hookshot away, but he can close the gap so fast it can be actually very easy for him to chase you and kill you. So unless you have a team that can manage to create space for you, it can be very hard to do this, and you of course also need very good aim to be able to pull this off. But in general, you need a lot of space to play these 2 heroes anyway. Hanzo a little bit more than Widowmaker, but in general you still need good space to play these and a lot of pressure from your team. So I suppose that goes for overall playing these 2 heroes, but especially with Doomfist, if you want to counter him, if he gets too close all the time, it's very, very hard to do so. And then the Devil herself is also an amazing pick, especially since Death Ball now is being reintroduced. It's very nice to play Mei more. I play Mei in scrims actually, which I haven't done in a while because of die meta, but actually fun to actually be allowed to play her both in competitive and in scrims now again. And Mei is really good because in general it can be very easy for him to waste his right click on you. You can kite him with your own right click, your ice spikes, just poking him low on the distance. If he want to engage you, you have your ice cube, you can block at least his Doomfist ability. And after that, of course, it makes you a very predictable target, right? Because you're standing still, so it's very easy. Okay, when she peeks, when she breaks out of her ice cube, I'll just uppercut her and combo her. But if you're very good with Mei, you can actually break the ice a little bit earlier, so he can't properly time it, and put up a wall between you guys, either lifting yourself up, which is pushing yourself guys away from each other, breaking that wall, and as soon as you're close, as long as he doesn't have his right click, his Doomfist ability, it can be very easy to actually freeze him. So what I normally do is, they charge up the Doomfist to go in, I cube, so I block it, and I only use it as a quick CC. I only use it to kind of make myself invulnerable to the right click. I pop out of my eyes, and I either then wall, or I start just freezing him. That way I can get an easy pick on him, because as long as you start freezing him, he's normally quite screwed. Even if he tries to uppercut you, you can still track him very easily with an uppercut, and if you're kind of good with MA, you can still manage to land a good, nice precision headshot, even if you're mid-air. On top of that, of course, you can wall him off from his team, if that is ever needed. Besides, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, then press like, and dislike if you dislike, subscribe if you're new, and you like what I do and you want to support the channel. Drop down in the comment section what you guys think, what your opinions are. If there's anything that you want to request or anything that you want me to do, you can also join the Discord community to do all of those, and in general just talk, have a good time. Our Discord community is very, very awesome. I made a video about us gonna play in the top league here in Norway. There should be on the screen, in the ending screen here, there should be a link to that video. And you can always follow me on Twitter and keep updated on all of these new things. I want to say welcome to all the new followers. I don't have a lot of followers on Twitter, but thank you to the guys that went over there and followed me. It's very nice to see that people are interested in not just me, but also my team effort and what we're doing in tournaments and stuff like that. Besides, guys, I hope you have a wonderful gaming experience. As always, my name is Jonal, and keep the enemy in your crosshair.